All right. Hello again, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are the people that are ready to have fun with a demon. You know, I mean, like you do. So
Just a
That's what
regular Wednesday
D&D's
night.
all about. Let the devil into your household.
Cheers here. Cheers here. The Satanic Panic's coming back into fashion.
Cast Heroes Feast, it's all pancakes.
Gotta love it. See, if this was truly a good Christian game, then Hero Feast would basically just be the church potluck with that yellow cooler thing that they would always make the crystal lemonade that they would
Crystal
always
Light?
use. Yeah, Crystal Light lemonade that they always use too little powder in, so it basically tasted like water that a lemon sneezed on.
Potato salad, raisins in it.
Yappers.
I actually asked once because I thought, like, I never encountered that. I actually asked if somebody made that joke once. And I went like, okay, I have to ask, did anyone ever actually experience that? Because I guess I dodged a bullet, and people went, unfortunately, yes.
Some of the stuff we were lucky enough. The church that I went to, I don't know if we were just in like a culinary like nexus or something like that, but when people came with food to the church picnic, like you in general, the church picnic, no one went home hungry at all.
That's why I think it's funny because I have Rowan having the chef feat because if you know, you know. There are actually very specific dishes that when someone passes,
Yeah.
like the very popular Jesus potatoes. Our mutual friend Kerry Callaghan made a play about that. But that's 100% a thing. There's also it's also known as funeral potatoes. There's also these like weird kind of sliders. That's a thing. So I thought like that kind of worked on a multiple level for Rowan.
We, my dad, being a former chef, would make what was it called? Chicken pot pie. He would make homemade chicken pot pie, and he would use this like 6-inch or 8-inch deep pan to make it in, and he would make two. The first year we did it, he only made one pan of it, and big frickin' pan. And by the time we got through the line, none of it was left. So he got smart and would bring these two, and the chicken pot pie was like this thick, and he would get like whole chickens and like chop them up and then basically like make it almost chicken soup and then remove them off the bone, put them in there, put just crap tons of vegetables, and then finish it all off with this like chicken gravy and cheese. It was amazing. If I live to be 100, I will never be able to make chicken pot pie that good. Anyway, so announcements. It has been revealed to me in a vision from Twitter. Daggerheart has actually announced pre-orders are available on their Demiplane Nexus. If you're not familiar with Demiplane or the various Nexuses, whatever the plural of that is, Demiplane is basically D&D Beyond for not D&D, but now they also have D&D on it, so it's D&D Beyond for other than D&D and D&D now. But there's a bunch of different systems on there. Candela Obscura has a Nexus on there, and Daggerheart has a Nexus. For the playtest, you could actually build your playtest characters there. You're actually able to purchase the core book there, and they have a bundle where you can purchase the core book plus get PDFs of a PDF of the core book from Drive-Thru RPG, all there. And they gave us an official release window. They say spring 2025, so within the next 3 to 6 months here, we will have the first version of Daggerheart. I'm very, very happy. Oh, and the the PDF that you get with it also comes with print and play cards for Daggerheart, because Daggerheart uses cards for their powers. It's one of the things I like about them, because back in 4th edition, all your powers were on cards. And so whenever I would go, like, they had a character builder, and when you would get your character sheet, it would have the character sheet, and then it would have these pages of 9-up cards. You could cut them out and you could play with it. It was wonderful. I miss it very much. Don't get me wrong, 5th edition character sheets are fine, but there's no cards.
I think
They tried for a while. Didn't they have like side
I
quests
have-
or something?
I have the card. I have the spell cards and things. Like, they're in the other room right now. But I have every single one of the spell cards they have, but it's not the same.
Well, that's spell cards. I mean, they also like there were like sidekicks in card form and things. I think you
They-
can still get those.
For the Adventurers League, stores would get promotional packages that would have things like magic item cards or NPC cards and stuff like that. Yeah, I just like cards. Like, I have cards here. Always like cards. Anyway, so that's a thing that's very, very cool. Other things going on in the tabletop world. There's like 47 bajillion Kickstarters going on right now, because of course there are, in various flavors of Kickstarter. Oh, I just saw the coolest thing in the world. It's not a TTRPG, but somebody is. It's not Kickstarter or Backer Kit. It's another thing, but whatever it's called, they're doing a crowdfunding for a Masters of Orion board game. And if you don't know what that is, Masters of Orion was an amazing computer game that came on a bunch of 5 1/4 floppies. That's how old it was. But you basically started off and you would have to, like, it was civilization in space. But it was amazing. And you were trying to find this planet called Orion. And when you got there, there was this super advanced technology that if you could get the planet, like, your civilization would go up super, super high. But it was always guarded by this super powerful alien fleet. And so if you accidentally, because you don't know what all the stars are, you have to explore them. If you accidentally explored the wrong star, you would unleash this fleet of super powerful alien ships across the galaxy, and it would just destroy everyone. It was an amazing game, and now they're making a board game version of it, and I want it. Anyway, I thought that was cool.
Sounds very cool.
Yes.
As always, there's also the fires in LA. There's plenty of charities still going on there. Care packages, whatever you have. Look up what's most needed items if you can do care packages.
Luckily enough, I was looking up info on it. Apparently, the Palisades fire is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 60 some odd % contained, is what they call it.
It's varying depending on overall versus specific areas.
Yeah. But that particular fire, they're getting better at. It's not done yet, but it's getting better. The other one that was really, really big is getting better. So, yeah. Hopefully by this time next year, they'll be gone, which would be very nice. But yeah, like Imp said, and I'll make this emphasis as well.
Relief, plenty of good charities.
Donating blood, donating plasma is still very, very useful. The things to do. Luckily enough, even when they do update mortality totals and things like that, there's still remarkably low numbers compared to how many people are there. Like
any loss is of course tragic, but it's astounding that the number is not as high as it could be.
Yeah. So, yeah. Otherwise, so apparently also, like, everywhere except California, apparently, is getting hit with snow. Like, I have relatives in Florida.
Yeah.
And they have snow. Which is funny because one of my relatives in Florida used to live up here and moved away from here to get away from the snow. So I found that hilarious.
And the snow said, bet.
Snow is evil. We had my sump pump because I live in a basement. The sump pump is like, I don't know, like 15, 20 feet that way. We have a very long line because whoever installed our sump pump decided that, unlike a normal sump pump where it just goes up and then out, they wanted it to traverse the entirety of the back wall of our house. And because it's that long, we can't have the water just like go back into the basin. So it has to sit in that pipe, and it froze. The pipe didn't burst. Very, very happy about that. But it did terrify the hell out of me because the sump pump kept running for like minutes at a time, which it's not supposed to do, and the water level wasn't going down. So yeah, we got to deal with that, and I got to pay $260 for him to come and say, yeah, it's fixed now because you guys put a space heater in the room. And close the window because I had a window open down here because it keeps oxygen in the room. Weird, right? I care too much about oxygen. So, yeah, I think wind chill got down to like negative like 25 or 30 here. And the actual temperature got down to like negative 15 or 20. So, yeah, we actually, fun fact, if it gets too cold, it can't snow.
Yeah.
So while Florida was getting blanketed in snow, Wisconsin was too cold to snow. So, yeah.
There's a joke about that when someone goes like, like when I said I couldn't wait for it to get to double digits. It's not what I meant.
And now, the fun thing about Wisconsin weather, like 4 or 5 days ago, it was above freezing. Yesterday, negative like 15. In 2 days, we will be above freezing again. Because that's Wisconsin. We have had, I do remember a day that we had, I think it was like a 40 or 45 degree difference between the high and the low for that day. Because Wisconsin! Gotta love it. Anyway, I think that just about does it for announcements. So, I think it's time for us to return to the legend of the Three Kingdoms. The party has begun to dream. As the party was discussing what to do about the revelation that Vincent may not be in control of his own actions, they decided to use a spell that, surprisingly enough, had nothing to do with fire. Vala cast the dream spell, intending to send Argenta into the dream to hopefully free Vincent from the control of whatever was there. Unfortunately, the spell didn't work as intended, and instead of sending Argenta, Vala herself was sent into the dream. The nightmare escape she woke to was brutal, a battlefield full of bullets flying, bodies dying, and Vincent there being mocked, berated by an image of his father, comparing him to his lost brother Booker. Vala, seeing through the ruse, helped to convince Vincent it wasn't real. And through force of will and Argenta using the magic items the DM definitely shouldn't have given him, suddenly the rest of the party appeared, and Vincent pulled out his brother's rapier that Argenta had given him when they first met. While the demon controlling everything prepared to destroy them. And that is where we return.
Just to say, while I am very grateful for like the custom touch you put in your items, like all you other guys got like some weird wild shit that you can do and make, and like my thing does blah blah. That's great. I got a surcoat.
It's a nice surcoat.
It does. It's
it
nice.
does cool things. You just haven't had it very long. Everyone else has had theirs upgraded a couple times.
Can't wait till I can get mine to its final form and I can start summoning the Zord.
I should mention that. I got a dragon dagger.
Nice.
So I got my
Can't see
sword.
it.
Oh yeah, because well, I have it. You can't see it, but I have it. They can see it. But
It's
I
right
have
there.
the power sword, and I have,
Yes, you can summon the Megazord. Yes, you can.
Yes, I can. I have a Megazord there too. The Dino Megazord's right there.
Sure.
I'm a Power Ranger, and you can't tell me otherwise. I forgot I got this like last year for Christmas. I have the entire Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers on DVD. I was just going through stuff, and I was like, oh, I forgot I owned this. So yeah, I'm a Power Ranger, and you can't stop me. So, yeah. So, yeah, you guys. So, just to kind of fill in Lillian because she wasn't here before. Like I said in the recap, Vala was kind of negotiating with the emotionally abusive demon, and eventually convinced, oh, I just realized I need to give a mini for our buddy. Convinced the demon that who's you? What's it? Convinced Vincent that the demon was a demon and not the real person that he thought he was.
Whom I may have referred to in our game chat as Strad von Bigovich.
I mean, you're not wrong. Sorry, I'm just looking for something that will work for him. Got wizards. I got everything but a dude with a rapier. How is there not a dude with a rapier? There we go. Really?
Oh yeah, and then there's the point where Vala was pretending to be a vampire and gave up the game when she's
yes.
like, what about if you take the Dark Lord's soul? Wait a minute. Vampires have souls, right? Right? Son of a bitch. I mean, all the vampires I know have souls, but
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was like just my friends are like really like I wasn't sure like because my friends are like special and like they have like a very soulful like spirit, so I just assume like maybe like we have souls but maybe other vampires don't, because I've met
Foolish
other...
mortal. That is third-party content.
You have not paid for the subscription for that content. Mwahaha! And then you hear the voice that everyone dreads. You must gather your party before venturing forth. That's a Baldur's Gate reference. If anyone doesn't.
Why aside, I need to rewatch that remote viewing D&D short that we had some mutual friends, Kiri and Angelique, star in. Who Angelique was playing a third-party published werewolf thing.
All right, so, yeah, so Vala basically insulted the demon enough to get its hold off of Vincent. The rest of you guys, Argenta used her cape that connects her to different planes of existence to glomp you guys into this dream realm. And Vincent, as everybody was getting ready to fight, Vincent suddenly found his brother's rapier and stood up for combat. So, with that being said, I think the first thing I need for you guys to do is why don't you roll initiative for me?
I'm in a physical dice mood today.
I was until this roll.
Hey, look, my tradition of the cleric roll still plays out here, so.
All right. Really? Is that what I did?
These dice are done.
Right. Hold, please. I have to get.
I rolled an 8, but I'm gonna roll again just for fun.
All right. Vala,
I
what you
didn't
got
do
for
that.
me?
That was a 1.
Vala, what you got for me?
10.
Okay, Argenta.
No. Oh.
What?
No. I was test rolling and rolled a 20 after I said I'm done with these dice.
Argenta, what you got for me?
18.
Okay, Lillian.
23.
Damn. Rowan.
Funny thing, I realized I had advantage, so that second roll happened. I rolled a 1 on the second roll, so I'm gonna stick with my 14.
Okay. I got a roll for Vincent. Let's give you that. And then I just realized I don't have the demon stat block. Because I didn't open D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond, if you want to sponsor us, you are more than welcome to. Because I use you all the time.
I'm currently working on another magic item just for fun.
Here we go. I always have to remember what I name these things. There we go. Alright, and I forgot I have an initiative tracker there too, which is really nice. Vala's 10, Argenta's 18, 23. You are 13. And my demon dude. All right.
See, digital dice, I know that's how you work. I do test rolls, and then you're like, hey, these are what you could have hit. Like, no, I know it's a lie, because it's different instance.
All right. So we're going to start off with Liliane. What do you want to do?
I will take my one out and activate my radiant.
All right.
Oh, reminder, everyone but me and Vala have Bless. So I cast that last session.
So an extra D40 rolls. So you guys watch as Liliane, just appearing in here, seeing large demon person in front of them, pulls out her sword. As she does, she nicks herself, and then as the blood kind of flows over the blade, it starts to glow with this bright light.
And then I will let me move a baby and a demon.
All right, go for it.
Alright. That would be a 31.
You know what? Not quite a. Yeah, roll damage.
Um, uh, 14. The radio battle.
Uh, yes, but not in the damage. So, just knowing that it is there is radiant damage amongst it is all I need. You said
Alright.
14.
Yeah.
All right,
And then and then
go for it. So you guys watch as Illigan runs forward, her sword glowing brightly. The first thing she does is thrust it in, and as the demon kind of moves, you watch as he pulls something from his hip, and you can see this many-tailed whip come out, and he tries to kind of slash at Liliane as she comes forward, but she dodges underneath, gets right up under his chest, and you can see it go right into him. She pulls it out, and
27.
another hit. She pulls it out and again thrusts it in,
14 more.
getting the exact same amount of
Yeah.
damage. Thrusts it in, and then pulls it out again and just gets back into a fighting stance. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
All right then. After you get there, the demon looks at you and goes, "I think you and I need to have some alone time." And he thrusts his hand out, and you can see this big, massive amount of fire starts to form in it. And as he points, I need to do this. As he points, you watch as this massive wall of fire appears. Need to count.
I can't. Does anyone in this campaign have counterspell?
I do, but I don't know if I saw this happening fast enough.
I have to delete it, don't I? That's stupid. Why don't you have an erase button? Okay, so let's try this again. Go here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Boom. And he creates this massive wall of fire, cutting off the rest of you guys. 20 feet high, just super blazing. And yeah.
Hmm.
Argenta, what would you like to do?
Well, let me see what something says.
Argenta seems to be contemplating her action. Something that doesn't generally happen with Argenta. She's a very...
Okay. No, I'm going to bonus action rage.
Okay. You guys hear this unearthly scream as Argenta's veins start bulging. You see her muscles get larger.
She pulls out the dagger and just charges through the fire.
Awesome. I need... Oh, there's no save on this. You just take damage. So... It's not going to let me roll it here, because why would it? Where are you? D8, 2, 3. Okay. You take 19 points of fire damage as you run through the blaze. Only...
Have to 9 because of the dagger.
Oh yeah. So as you draw the dagger, you can feel kind of the cold falling off of it like waves off of an overflowing fountain. And as you get closer to the wall of fire, you can feel the immense amount of heat, but the dagger seems to cool some of it. And as you go through, the fire laps at your skin, and you can feel some of the pain, but there's still this tiny little bit of a cushion that protects you from some of the damage. And now there's a big dude in front of you.
Yeah, now I'm going to recklessly attack him.
Cool.
So the first one... Cool. Alright, so the first one's going to be a 27 to hit.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the
Hey,
damage.
you might need a D4 to help you with that.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. 31 to hit.
That misses. You know, he has like a window, and you came after hours, is what it was. Like they were closed by the time 30 came around.
The damage is a bit minimal, but that is going to be... What is my... Yeah, it's a small amount of damage. Only 8 with one of it being cold.
All right, he's very upset. Like you come up and like you guys, Lillian specifically, like you're sitting there and you're in a fighting stance. You see this huge wall of flame appear behind you. You realize you are now alone with this demon creature, and you're not really sure what you're going to do. And then suddenly you see this figure of Argenta just walking through the flames, seemingly not caring about the fires that are caressing her skin. She comes up and she stabs and penetrates, but he just kind of looks at her and goes...
When she stabs, she teleports here because of distance strike and attacks again.
Cool. And then Argenta blinks, and while she was on your right, Lillian, she's now on your left.
That's a 23 to hit after everything.
That hits as well. And my headset is losing power.
That's a little better. That's I'll just separate the two. 9 piercing, 3 cold.
Okay. For cold damage, I don't need to...
Okay, so 12 total.
12 total works for me. All right. So, hold on just one second. All right. So Argenta disappears, reappears, and another stab, and now he's starting to get annoyed because you were there and now you're over there. What else you want to do?
Well, after the second strike, I blink over here, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Getting pissed off with you. He's going to turn... Yeah. He is going to spin around and attack you with the many-tailed whip.
All right.
Oh, and he gets advantage on that too, doesn't he?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't matter because I rolled 11 and a 12. So, 27?
Yep.
All right. You take 13 lightning damage plus 11 thunder damage. And normally you'd have to make a strength save, but you're already right next to him, so it doesn't matter. Cool. Then
All right.
it is his turn. So he is. What do we got? Yeah, he is not pleased that you're staring at his very attractive butt. But for Liliane, Vala, and Relwyn, you see him kind of look at Liliane, and he can see where you guys used to be because now there's a wall of fire in the way. He inhales and goes, "Rah!" And this huge wave of this huge wave of purple smoke just starts filling the area, passing through the wall of flame. I need wisdom saving throws from you three.
Nice.
Yepers. So let's start with Vala. What you got for me?
24.
All right. Does it really do nothing on a save? So, Vala, you make your save. Rowan,
25.
you make your save. Liliane,
Yeah.
you do not. You take 27 psychic damage, and you immediately drop your sword, which ends the right on it, and you are frightened of Moloch or the demon, for a minute. And while frightened in this way, you must take the dash action and move away from the demon by the safest route on each of your turns, unless there's nowhere to move. And then you could repeat the save at the end of your turn to stop it. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. It
Go
was
ahead.
so low. The D4 would have mattered. Sorry.
Yeah. So, and that's going to be all that he does. Kind of smirking. He can't really tell that you two made your saves because there's a wall of fire in the way. But he saw Liliane fail, so he assumes you all failed and are terrified of him. Rowan, what you want to do?
Okay. So. I guess what I'm going to do is. Now, interesting point on Bless. It doesn't say I have to see the creatures. It says creatures of your choice within range of 30 feet. So, 20, 25, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Generally, for you to be able to choose a creature, you have to be able to see
It doesn't say
it.
that I see on Bless.
Are you using the old version, or are you looking at the old version or the new version?
2014. I mean, that's just what I have in there. The only
Yeah.
things we moved over were healing.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you want to do then?
So, I need the stupid ruler. A second. Sorry. Okay, so what I will do is, I believe if I step. Okay, so that'll be within range there. There. What I will do is I will cast Bless again.
I will say, because the wall of fire is there, you wouldn't be able to tell where Argento is standing. So,
Oh, okay.
uh, if if you can come up with a reason why you would step forward for anything other than getting in range for Argenta, I'll allow it. But other than you
Could
can't.
I roll? I know I probably have to roll not to rely on my passive. Would I be able to use my perception to see if they would be within range?
You can't physically see them. The wall of fire
But hearing.
blocks what. Go ahead. I'll let you
Okay.
do that. See, Argenta's not a quiet person. I mean, yes, you have this like right in front of you, but Argenta's not quiet. So
I have advantage, but I'm not proficient, so that's. Oh, come on. Can't do worse than that. 15, 19.
that's good enough for me. Cool. So go ahead. I'm assuming just
Okay.
you're blessing everybody.
Well, everyone but me, because I also want to get Vincent as well.
Cool.
I want to all allies except for me will get a D4.
Cool. And so this is replacing the bless they had previously.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So that way now it's everyone, including Vala and Vincent, now will all be blessed.
So bless itself has verbal, somatic, and material components. You technically use holy water to do it. How do you visualize?
I believe if I have my holy symbol, I can use that
Yeah,
instead, or
that.
still.
I'm just
okay.
saying, like, how do you visualize? Like, what do you see? Like, how do people recognize that they're blessed? What do people see and experience?
I think in typical scenarios, I believe last time it was like kind of like that cool grave fog.
Okay.
As it, like, you see, like, those quintessential, those Vincent Price horror movies, like you'll see those out in the field. But it's the calming scene, like, nice, a quiet, soothing, uh, almost
So basically, like
pastoral
dry
resting
ice
place.
fog just going across, and
And so it's
then
like, the fog seeks everyone out
okay.
and envelops them temporarily, and then they will get their
So
blessing that way. Or you gonna say?
Is the fog scented? So like there's like fresh baked brownies smell into it.
Yeah, it tastes like funeral potatoes.
So Vala, you watch as Rowan kind of steps forward, and technically
Dark Lady potatoes.
Dark Lady
Dark
Potato.
Lady
I love
Potato.
it. I love it. Take heroic inspiration for that. So, Rowan kind of steps forward, and technically your surecoat, because it has the Dark Lady's holy symbol on it, can act as a holy symbol as well. So you, which is what I've just ruled in the moment right now, because I think it's funnier this way. So you sit there and you kind of focus, and you open your eyes, and there's this kind of dark indigo glow to them, and you kind of reach inside your surecoat, and you pull out this really nice little glass baking
Pyrex.
dish. Yeah, Pyrex. With this glorious Dark Lady potatoes in it.
It's that Corningware with like the blue flower.
Yes. And as you sit there, you watch as this kind of mist, this indigo mist, kind of comes up and very carefully cuts little sections out and gets those thin paper plates that are never thick enough to stop anything.
Hey, please, Dixie, please.
Okay. So it gets the little Dixie plates and then just goes around and like goes through the fire completely unaffected by the fire. And Argenta, you get this little Dixie plate of funeral potatoes or Dark Lady potatoes. And Liliane, as you are terrified, you can also see little Dark Lady potatoes next to you. You're not sure if you could eat them right now because you're terrified, but eating them, you feel great.
Now, and my
Bless
bonus
is permanently changed to Dark Lady potatoes. Like, we have created a new spell, and it shall never be replaced.
That's not even mark that off. And for the bonus action, I will use my surcoat, and you will hear the sermon. That's happened once before when we were on that when we were fighting the Beyond people. And I'll put it in chat. They were filled with pink goo. Sermon of the Dark Lady's Embrace. The weight of the words of the sermon envelop you. All allies that can hear it, for 1 minute, they can hear the sermon, and when they take damage, they use their reaction to give themselves resistance to that damage. This reaction can be used a number of times equal to the wearer, myself's proficiency bonus, across all allies, after which the sermon ends. So that's a total of 6 times.
So, amongst all of you, because I think that's everyone, right? All eyes I can hear, yeah. So, 6 times you guys can give yourself resistance to damage before this ends. As Relwyn...
If you don't already have it, because
Yeah.
I think Argenta and I already have resistance to
Yeah.
fire.
As
But it could be
Relwyn
other
is
things.
just... Yeah. Relwyn just starts talking about the loving embrace of the Dark Lady and her potatoes.
Well, and the funny thing is, no, it's Relwyn's voice, but Relwyn ain't saying that shit. The Surcoat's saying it. That was the weird thing that happened before. Is like the actual sermon, the actual truth, the prognostication of this is actually what Relwyn has never heard before. So he's actually taking this stuff in when he hears it too.
Which is weird when you listen to a sermon in your own voice that you don't remember giving.
Yeah, that's...
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Relwyn's had a lot of breaks with reality already, so there's that. And 5, 10, 15, 20... 30, so I'll move there, and I'll be done.
All right.
I'm sorry, whoop, I moved to get in range, so they'll be back there.
Okay. Cool. That's going to bring us to Vincent. Vincent, however, is still a little bit unsteady on his feet and is not sure about everything, so he's going to make a wisdom save and fail it. And so he's going to do his best to just...
Did he use his +4? His D4, sorry?
Of course he did. Well, he rolled a 2, so...
Oh, okay.
He did roll a 4 in the D4, so he doubled, or he technically tripled his roll. So he's just going to kind of get behind this pillar, not really cowering, more of getting into a defensive position. Because he's not 100% certain what's going on right now, and that's going to be his turn. Vala, what would you want to do?
Damn it, I can't think of the sister's name.
Elizabeth.
Lizzie.
As a free
fair.
as a free
Yeah, just call her,
action,
it's not fair. She doesn't have a name.
As
It's just not fair.
INF.
as a free action, I will just yell out, "Vincent, this is the best way to help Elizabeth." And then I will pull out my magic dagger flute and start playing the Bolero of Rebirthed Embers
Okay.
as I kind of, with purpose, make my way 30 feet to get to the corner of the firewall.
Okay.
With the Borello of Rebirthed Embers, I will choose myself. So that way the next spell that I cast before the start of my next turn is turned into either fire or, let's say, radiant damage. And I get to add 2 of my Bardic Inspiration dice to the damage.
Okay. Really quick, because I forgot about this, and Relwyn, you would be aware of this. Any creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of the bad side of the wall of fire will take damage from it, and you are within 10 feet.
Oh, it's 10 feet? Okay.
Yeah, it's 10 feet. And again, you would know that, so if that
Okay.
means
So
you
can I
would
go
have... Yeah.
Right there?
I was
Okay.
assuming...
I thought it was 5 feet, but I'm pretty sure I would sense that.
Yeah, which is why I gave you the option of moving.
Okay, cool.
Am I on the bad side if I'm on
Technically,
the
you're
side?
on the end. Does that count?
I'm
That means that means there's 3 sides.
Yeah, I'm not ruling it as the sides also, because it specifically says one side of the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not ruling it as the sides will do it too, like the ends will do it too.
Yeah.
It would feel unfair.
So, I then with my action, I'm going to cast, I believe, I was going to do Fireball, but I've got too many allies in range.
So there is a limit. Hey, to be fair, I gotta be fair. Remember, Relwyn actually did this too when he did a ground zero sunburst, and he gave everyone resistance then too.
Although, actually, people have moved since I did that. Yeah, because Yeah, 20 feet radius. Oops. If
I
do
have
this-
I have templates if you would like them.
Well, I think.
Like I
Yeah,
have a
actually.
fireball template that you can actually move around if you want to see.
Sermon.
No, I think I think if I hit him. Yeah, no. I don't think there's any way I can get it where I would just hit him. So
Yeah,
I'm
because
going to.
Argenta's staring at his ass. If Argenta wasn't staring at his ass,
So I'm going to cast a 4th level guiding bolt as radiant damage.
okay.
Although I think is guiding bolt. It doesn't matter. It's radiant now for sure. All right. So. And I'm going to use my bless, so I get an extra d4 to that. So 22 to hit.
22 does hit, barely. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so I get to roll 34 plus apparently 2d10s. And I also get to add 6 from my Radiant Soul. So that is 53 points of radiant damage. And there's a fireball.
Yes, that's one of the asset things that I have. If you guys ever want to use stuff like that, I have literally every 5th edition spell. I have a little template for it. If anyone ever wants to use them,
Those are very cool.
they are very cool. Like this is Firestorm, because you do.
There's some that are animated.
Yeah. Oh, I picked the non-animated versions. This must be the animated ones. Nope. All right, so
That looked like it was from Nickelodeon.
do you have guts?
Holy shit, the aggro crag.
Now is time for the legend of the hidden temple. So what I'm gonna do? One of these days, you guys are gonna find yourself in an abandoned temple. The only way to get out is to go through the shrine of the silver monkey. And no matter what you do, you can't get the head to go on the stupid monkey. Even though it's the easiest thing in the world to do, but they can never figure out how to put the monkey together. It's 3 pieces.
Rowan just yelling at Olmec, shut up!
Anyway, anything else you want to do with your turn?
I believe that is it. I've used my bonus action, movement, and action.
Okay. At the bottom of initiative, you guys watch as the world around you starts to shift, and you start seeing these kind of mists floating up from the floor that look very different from your Dark Lady potatoes. And I would like everyone to make me charisma saving throws.
Oh no! Don't throw me into the briar patch.
Y'all got D4.
What if we've already used our bless?
Well, you just use bless, it just replenishes. That ain't guidance. Bless just keeps going.
Yeah.
Oh.
Until he loses, because bless is still concentration though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So until he loses concentration, it's just basically every roll at a D4.
There are other numbers besides 1. Well,
So let's start with Argenta. What do you got for me? Okay, let's start with Lillian then.
Wait, I was muted. Sorry. It's pretty good. I got a 22.
22. All right. I should probably look to see what the saving throw is. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you made your save. Lillian?
And holding the boy. He
Hey. All right, so you failed. Rowan?
Use my her inspiration.
Like,
No,
maybe I
I
don't want to
rolled
fail
I
this.
rolled good, but this guy's nasty.
Hmm.
18 on the die. So that's 18 plus 8, 26.
26. You have a +8 to your charisma save? Damn.
Proficient.
You made it, and then Vala?
25.
Glad I did that.
So, for those of you that made it, you take half of 27 psychic damage. So that's, what, 13?
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Argenta, you take 27 psychic damage, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls and saves for until the start of until the start of the next round.
You mean Lillian?
The person that failed, yes. Lillian, sorry. Lillian's just getting kind of screwed over here.
I made my con save, by the way, for the concentration.
Oh, good. All right, so speaking of Lillian, Lillian, the first thing that you need to do is use your dash action to run away.
able to be and we are playing sports
Um,
and we have the drop.
yeah, no, I'm trying to remember because I thought no, because if your hands are empty, yes, we'll go with that. At one point I thought it took an action to pick up a weapon, but it doesn't.
Oh, that was a free action, wasn't it?
Well, it's so disarming someone should mean something in D&D because there's multiple things that allow you to disarm,
Yeah.
but it does literally nothing. And so I've been trying to come up with a way that disarming actually does something. Because literally, if you disarm someone, they use a free action to pick the weapon up as soon as they can, and not there's no reason to ever disarm somebody.
Yeah.
But because I haven't come up with a rule, yes, go ahead and pick up your sword and then run like a bitch.
Yeah.
So again, you have to move away from him in the nearest safe direction, so you don't have to run through the wall of fire.
Oh. And I die. Right?
And yeah, you have to dash. You have to use your action to dash.
Oh.
And as you start moving, he's going to get a 22 to hit as he tries to nom on you. Does that hit?
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. So that's 26 fire damage as he bites you. And then you can continue moving.
What is it?
Yep.
You can use your reaction if you want. Because he has a surcoat sermon.
Yeah, if you want to use your reaction, you can give yourself half, or you can give yourself resistance to that damage.
Alright, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So half of 26 is 13.
Oh. Alright. And then.
I can't remember if this is the rule, like, if this is probably the same, a different effect. Does Lillian taking damage give a chance to break the fear, or...
No,
Okay.
not this particular thing. Fear in and of itself normally just gives you disadvantage on basically everything as long as you can see it, and you can't willingly move closer to the source of your fear. This is a special version of fear that also forces them to use their action to dash away.
Alright.
Alright. So, anything else you want to do with your turn? You still have a bonus action, and technically you don't have to use your move to move away. It just says you have to use your dash
Oh.
to do that. So if you wanted to circle around or something, you could. You just can't move closer to it until you're not afraid.
Oh, alright. Well, so I could use my boulder and we is my
Sure, if you'd like to. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nope.
Uh, the demon is going to turn towards you, Argenta. And he's going to kind of look in the direction that Lillian just fled. And he goes, "Look at that coward. Running. Abandoning you. You should teach it a lesson. Hurt it. Destroy it." And you can feel the words starting to kind of melt into your mind. And I need a wisdom saving throw.
Would I recognize this as a spell being cast or no?
Yes, it is a suggestion spell. I think you've used it before.
I think I have, and I don't like the idea of him casting that, so I'm gonna try counterspell.
Okay.
A 3rd level counterspell.
So Argenta, as you're sitting there, feeling the words start to kind of sway you, and it's starting to make a lot of sense. You know, Lillian just abandoned you, and you just walked through fire for her. Like that bitch. And as you're trying to kind of figure out if you think it's a good idea or not, suddenly you feel this kind of weight leave you as Vala. How do you envision you counterspelling?
I want to say something clever, but all I can think of is just shouting out, "Bitch says what?"
So you're sitting there and you're feeling kind of low by this idea, and you're like, yeah, actually, that sounds like a fantastic. You just hear, "Bitch says what?" And you're like, "What? Oh, you were trying to suggest me."
If I could do that, it'd be like Quiet Coyote.
And with that, Argenta, it is your turn.
Well, the first thing I do is I mark him with Planar Warrior.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me the equivalent of a spell attack roll. I think for you that'd be a wisdom attack with proficiency.
Well, natural 20.
Ignore what I'm saying. As you sit there and you try to kind of like mark him in your mind so that you can see him not only here but kind of within the planes themselves, something feels really, really off. And it's kind of like if you've ever been like really, really tired and you just can't get your eyes to focus, and so you're just seeing two of everything. You're having the hardest time getting him to mark, and suddenly everything just focuses and boom, he's there. But something about this place that you're in is really messing with kind of your planar senses. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So, what else do you want to do?
Getting's good. I'm recklessly attacking him again.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, for the record, he is guided bolt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had advantage.
So
This one's not reckless then.
Okay.
That's going to be a 25 to hit.
25 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
So,
I'm sorry. Did Booker do anything?
You mean Vincent? Yeah, he hid behind
Vincent,
the pillar.
sorry.
Yeah, he didn't make his
yeah,
save.
he's
so-
taking.
He's taking a, let's call it a defensive position. He's not cowering or anything, but he's still very confused about everything that's going on. So he went to the first place that made the most sense that he could live through this.
32 points of force damage.
No, it's not. Yeah, bitch slap away. Shit. Sure, anything else you want to do?
Well, after that strike, she teleports here, and then she goes for an attack. This isn't reckless again, so just normal.
Yep, because the guiding bolt only works once.
Yep. He dodges that one with a 2, and then I'm over there.
Okay. So, Argenta, you kind of fix him within the planes. You stab in, and there's this huge kind of burst. How do you visualize your planar warrior extra damage? How do you visualize it happening?
Essentially, because it's like marking them with the energy of the planes, I visualize it because she's marked with like that symbol in the center of her chest.
Mm-hmm.
So the symbol kind of illuminates a spot on them, and when she strikes, the spot bursts, and that's why it's force.
Okay. So, Argenta kind of pulls back with her frozen dagger, and you guys watch as this arcane symbol kind of appears, and Argenta just stabs through it, and as it does, there's this like a ball of glass just shattering with a brilliant light, and as she does that, Argenta appears right in front of him, and this time the creature is ready, and it takes these huge claws and just goes and knocks the blade away, and as soon as the claws interact with your blade, you disappear, and now you're next to him again. Anything else you wanted to do?
Nope, I'll stay right there.
All right, then he is going to turn towards Vala, and he goes, and the multi-tailed whip stretches out and goes to wrap itself around Vala with a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, you take 13 points of lightning damage and 11 points of thunder damage, and I need a strength
13.
saving throw.
11. Oh no. Strength is saving throw.
Yeah.
Yes, Vala's best stat, obviously.
14.
All right. So
Blanket, remember the sermon. He does use a reaction.
I've already used my reaction.
Oh, that's right.
Counterspell.
So, as you feel this whip kind of wrap around your throat, and you can feel the lightning kind of going through your skin, and this kind of loud bang as it hits you, he pulls you forward, pulling you through the wall of fire.
Fair.
Would that go through?
Well, he's pulling her through this square, which is where the wall of fire is. So you take 26 points of fire damage as you are ripped through the wall and are brought right in front of him here.
Does Vala have any fire resistance?
No.
All your the pyro.
I have resistance to radiant damage, but not fire damage.
She
Get
doesn't
some of
hit
that gel
herself
stunt
with the
people
fire.
use.
She hits other people with the fire. Why would she need to be? She controls the fire.
Yeah.
Control of her.
And now it's actually his turn. And due to the fact that he really didn't like that guiding bolt from before, he's going to start off by clawing you. So you see this big claw come down. 22 to hit.
That hits.
You take 17 points of force damage as the claw itself is so fast that it actually creates almost a sonic boom of energy. Then he comes down and bites you for a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
26 points of fire damage as he clamps down. You can feel the heat from his chest burning you.
That is just wrong to knock me out with fire damage.
Don't you
All right.
have Death Ward? Don't we all have Death Ward?
You all
Everybody
have Death
has
Ward.
Death Ward.
Do I have Death Ward?
Yep.
Do you? I can't remember. Well, no, I cast that before that happened. Yes, you do have Death Ward.
Okay.
It's gotten to the point where
it was the blast
Relwyn
before you went to sleep.
almost doesn't, like... I think
Yeah.
it's gotten to the point where
It was-
Relwyn, like, wakes up every morning and is like, Death,
Pretty much.
you're all going to die.
It was the bless I was thinking of that you didn't have first, but now you do have.
Okay.
All right.
So, what does the Death Ward do?
Instead of dropping to 0, you're at 1.
Okay.
So, as he sits there, like, picks you up with his mouth and just throws you to the ground, you're barely standing there.
I like to feel I was like, no, not like this. No.
Not like this. He goes, okay, how about this? And he brings the many-tailed whip back. And that's a nat 20.
Val just goes, fair.
Unfortunately, I cannot use grave. I can't use grave on this. I have to see you.
Maybe she's at 1 anyway.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, I can't... There's no way I can do enough damage to get to your negative hit point max with this, but Invala collapses next to this creature.
This is the first hit, strikes you, and you're like, fucking stay down!
I could do this all day. No, you can't. Fair.
You ain't got the serum yet, Steve.
All right. Oh, shit. You know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been rolling concentration checks.
Oh, the wall of flame.
Yeah. That is it's concentration.
Didn't he take like 52 at some point and then 32 at another?
You know what? We're going to say the wall of flame is gone. Because I just haven't been keeping track of it, and I should have.
Oh, hey, it's down. Ah, shit! Vala!
So, how much damage... Do you remember how much damage you took going through the wall of flame?
26.
Okay. So I'm just going to see
it
if...
was in that range.
Yeah, and the many-tailed whip would be at least that much. So I'm going to say you're still down, but with a crit.
And I think at one point he hit me for 26 when I had 15 left. So
okay. So, that is his turn. Relwyn, what you want to do?
Rel was gonna do something. It's just like I literally don't. I don't think I. Ironically, I don't think I have any spells that remove the fright and fear thing. So trying to do this. Okay, so I will. 15. Go over to Vala, and I will use a 5th level Cure Wounds. And because I am a Grave Cleric, that'll be max healing. 8, 10 D8, that's 80, 84.
holy sh!
What spell was that?
Cure Wounds at 5th level. So that's 10 D8 plus 4. And since I'm a Grave Cleric and she was at 0, she gets the max heal.
Cure
Wound 5th level, 10 D8 plus 4. It's rather than DD Beyond.
Oh, no. So it starts at 2d8, right? And then each one should be another... Yeah, I guess that's right. For some reason, I thought it was supposed to be 12 instead of 10.
Jody, new healing.
Oh, I know that. I was just thinking, for some odd reason, I thought it was supposed to be 12d8 instead of 10, and I don't know why. But, no, that's right.
It's 2d8 for every level above.
I think I was just counting first level for some odd reason.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, cool.
So 84 to Vala. I don't know if
well,
that puts you into overflow or not, but
he's not particularly fond of that.
Vala just like Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction.
All right. Anything
there's
else you want to do
that.
with your turn?
And pretty much anything else I can do. I have to look at. So I've already used the thing on that. I need to. Got the only thing I hate. Yeah, so that will be my turn because there's literally nothing else I can do for anyone else.
Shit. At the end of your turn, the demon takes out the many-tailed whip and throws it at you. 25.
Number Wang.
13 lightning damage plus 11 thunder, and I need a strength save from you, Rowan.
Okay, just a second. So that was. I'm sorry. That was 11 and what?
11 and 13. So 24 total.
Okay. I will just take that one because I need to make sure I have my reaction. And you said strength?
Yep, strength save.
God. Okay. 15.
15. You are pulled right next to him. And then Vincent, seeing all of you guys taking hits for him, go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to
Oh,
run
I'm
up.
sorry. I'm sorry before we get too far into this. Oh, no, I don't. I'm the only one that doesn't have bless. Never mind.
Cool. That's impressive. Another time when bless really doesn't mean a damn thing is when I roll a nat 1. So his first attack, Vincent rushes
He
forward.
has advantage because I am raging next to the enemy.
Oh, well, in that case, math is hard. 6 and 7. Somebody tell me 6 and 7 is 13, right?
Yep.
Yes.
23. So he comes forward and you watch him kind of stumble for a moment, and Argenta, you just kind of raging, you go, "You got this!" And he adjusts himself, and boom, he puts his rapier in to the creature. You know what? He has a special rapier. It's a D10.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because he seemed to be really keen on him putting that rapier down last session. So I was wondering if there's anything special about that.
Well, it's his brother's rapier. The rapier does not come from the dream. The rapier, when you guys first met him, Argenta gave him his brother's rapier. So he's not particularly fond of that. So, I'm going to call that 11 points of radiant damage. And then he comes around for another attack. And basically, Argenta, explain to me how this works. Anytime you're raging next to someone, it's basically pack tactics?
Yes, because I have the wolf spirit.
Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, he just gets advantage. So he goes around for another attack, and the demon kind of bats it away. And so
he's also blessed.
Ooh, that might actually change things then. Still not enough, but close.
Second.
All right. So he goes around and
I
makes...
made concentration.
Okay, cool. He goes around and the demon deflects his attack, so he comes with a third attack. And he still rolls like shit. So he goes around and tries to attack, and again the demon is able to deflect it. Oh wait, he gets advantage. That time he hits. Yep. And so deflects the second attack. The third attack comes around and gets in for... Come on. 5, because I'm rolling. And then...
Sorry, is the demon doing advantage, or is Booker?
It's not Booker, it's Vincent.
Vincent. Scott, dang it. Vincent's doing
Vincent
damage.
has
Okay.
made 3 attacks, and he's
Okay.
going for a 4th.
Oh, okay.
Did I just really? Damn it. I hit the back button. When he gets a nat 20 on it, we'll deal with that in a second. Glad I wrote these down.
I got concerned. I was like, oh, do I do my move and deny the 20?
Okay, and then what was he at? He was there when we started. And then he took 11, then 5. Sorry, I hit the back button on my mouse and it removed my hit point tracking and my initiative tracking. And then nat 20 means I roll 2d10. Right, you are getting out of here so I don't hit the back button again. So 5 turns into another 11. So Vincent runs forward and kind of plunges underneath and gets a first attack. He comes around with a quick slash of the tip, and the demon's able to knock it away. But he goes with it and goes in with another thrust as the demon gets up and he tries to grab at Vincent, and he kind of steps underneath, gets right underneath the demon's armpit with another attack, and just holds back with his rapier, kind of shaking. And I need to add... let's give you... There we go. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So we did... So Rowan, you just went, then Vincent went, now it's Vala's turn. Seriously, never turned on the combat music.
You need to get up.
I will stand up.
Okay. Opportunity attack. Oh wait, no, it's only 3rd edition where everything gives opportunity attacks.
You know, it worked so well last time.
Okay.
I'm going to once again play my little bolero,
Okay.
using up an inspiration as my bonus action, and then for my actual, I will just hit him with a firebolt,
Okay.
which is now a radiant bolt.
Okay. Because you're within 5 feet, it will be made with disadvantage, but then advantage from pack tactics. Does pack tactics only work on melee attacks?
Let me read the feature.
Hack tactics adjacent.
Favorite enemy aspect of the wolf. Melee attack rolls.
Okay. So yeah, this is made with disadvantage then.
What is super disadvantage?
There's no such thing as super disadvantage. It's just disadvantage.
Oh no! I rolled a 20 and an 18. So 29 to hit,
Plus 4 for plus D4 for bless.
plus a D4 for bless.
Well, you miss. He just
These
put up
dice are
super
broken.
mega
They just
awesome
have-
shield.
They just have ones on them.
You're on double secret disadvantage.
So how much damage do you do?
Well, about that. I get to roll 6d10.
6010. Where's 6010 coming from?
Wait, sorry. Firebolt says 4d10 plus 5,
Uh-huh.
and because of my Bolero, I'm
Oh,
changing
okay. Extra
radiant,
damage.
adding
Yeah.
2,
Okay.
and then I also get to add an additional 6 to that because
Okay.
of my radiant soul.
Oh, Jody's perfectly fine. Give them... These are cool magic items. They won't use them to totally trivialize the cool boss fight you created. Not at all.
So 44 radiant damage.
He doesn't take any damage. He's immune to radiant damage now. So yeah, you guys watch as Vala, point blank, just kind of launches this bolt of holy fire that explodes at his face. You hear him go, "Ah!" Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I will just kind of like lean back a little bit and be like, we could have had a deal. We could have worked through this. You chose this. Just know that.
She's already dropped you once. You're not death warded anymore.
As you say that, you suddenly watch as he vanishes from in front of you and teleports on top of this. Basically, it's like a big kind of Stonehenge looking kind of thing. So he's now about 15 feet above you, guys. Fools! Did you really think you could end me in my own domain? And I need charisma saves from everybody again, as again the purple stuff starts floating from the ground.
You're casting purple stuff. I'm using Sunny D.
Ooh.
We'll start with Rowan this time.
24.
24. You're good. Liliane? All right.
You're blessed.
It's impressive. Argenta?
Give me a second.
We'll come back. Vala.
Bless can result in numbers other than a 1. 18 total.
18. You fail.
Ooh.
So you said charisma save, right?
Charisma save. Yepers.
20d4. Ooh, 21.
21. 21 is exactly what you needed to save. So you take half of 27 psychic damage. Those of you that failed take the full 27 psychic damage. And those of you that failed, your attack rolls and saving throws are at disadvantage until the end of the next round.
If anyone wants to, just I can remind you of the option for the sermon if you want to use a reaction to give resistance to that one time.
I will take advantage of that.
Okay.
So 27 healed, and then 13 damage.
All right, that brings us back up to the top of the round. Liliane, did you roll a wisdom save at the end of your last turn?
No, I didn't. No.
So go ahead and roll your wisdom save to see if you can get out of
You're
this.
blessed.
Yeah, and I remember
I was going to
I
keep saying.
have bigger than on anything like this.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I think because of this one, for the initial save is technically not against frightened. Wow,
Oh.
we just... Bye, Argenta, we'll miss you. How bad do I look now?
Sure.
Uh,
You're Vala.
here we go. We'll do 3 players with the wrong names.
Keep wanting a buy swap episode.
Argenta there. Put Lillian here. Cool. That worked better than I thought it would. So until we get Argenta back, so yeah, the initial save, because it technically frightened was just a side effect. It was actually an attack. I wouldn't give you advantage on that, but every other saving throw, I would. So anyway, let's see if you can become not frightened. Not enough, unfortunately. So, yeah, you need to use your action to dash. There's no longer a wall of fire to go around.
Does Leanne just hit a dream wall or something?
Yeah, I mean, if you go beyond, like this here's a wall. If you get to a point where you can't run any further away, it specifically says, unless there is nowhere to move, in which case it needn't take the dash action. So if you can kind of corner yourself, you get your action back. But until you can't move, you have to use your action to dash away from him.
Question, and I ask this because mechanical. If can Lillian still see because of the column?
See what? It doesn't specifically say while. There's nothing about having to be able to see Moloch to.
I thought there was something about about seeing the creature, and you had this advantage.
That's the frightened condition in and of itself.
Okay. Oh.
The dash action is an aspect of the Breath of Despair that he used. So, anyway, Lillian, did you move?
Yeah.
Doo-ba-doo. And I think we've got Argenta coming back here.
Yeah, she was kicked out of everything.
Hi, Argenta. Have you returned?
Hey. Yes, I'm back. Is it my turn?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do with your turn, Lillian?
No.
Okay. Argenta. At the end of your turn, Lillian, he only has one life. Yeah, go ahead and make your wisdom save. And I need the measuring tool.
Still blessed.
Yep. So none of you guys are close enough, so he's not going to do anything. Cool. Unfortunately, not high enough. Argenta! What you want to do? He is, I don't know if you were here when he did it, but he teleported up here, and he's about 15 feet in the air. Or not in the air. He's on top of a big stone thing that's about 15 feet tall. And you're muted if you're saying something.
Yeah, I heard him talking about how you think you can kill me in my own domain.
Okay.
Let's see something. All right, so she's going to, in her rage, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And she's gonna try and see if she can. I mean, he's talking about his own domain, trap him in the shadow domain.
You had to use all of your
Right, I did.
charges.
So
Yeah, to get here you had
Right.
to use all your charges.
Right. Thank you for reminding me. I
No
forgot
problem.
about that. Then instead, she will drop the dagger and pull out Fury.
Okay.
see something really quick. I just want to check what I have on this list. Under this. All right, cool. And I'm just gonna fire at him twice.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
So the first set, D20, D4.
Sorry, say that one more time. I was
Oh
trying.
no, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
That's my natural 20 for the first attack.
Misses. It's so weird.
For 18 points of damage.
Okay.
Second one's not natural, so I have the D4. That's a total of 26 to hit.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
Total of I can mark him with planar warrior as a bonus action, so I'll do that
Okay.
because he's within 30 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
16 force.
Total of 16 force?
Yep.
Cool. All right. It is his turn. Before it comes to his turn, he's going to take his many-tailed whip and attempt to hit you with it. Getting a 24 to hit.
The 24 will hit.
Okay. So 13 lightning, 11 thunder, and I need a strength save.
13 lightning and 11 thunder, so 24 total. And then you said a strength save.
Yepers. Pick a number with 3 digits in it. I'm assuming.
Let's see. Well, all right, and we're looking at a 23.
23. Actually, not enough. So, as the whip kind of gets around your neck, you feel this jerk, and you're pulled up right next to him, 15 feet in the air, and then he drops you. So you take an additional d6 of fall damage.
I thought you were joking.
No, the DC is higher than 23.
God.
He's a strong dude. So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall and hit the ground.
Reminder if you wanted to use sermon before the other thing.
How many points of damage?
5.
Is that halved by rage or not?
Yeah, it's still bludgeoning damage, so...
Okay, so halved to 2. Gotcha.
Nevers. So, being completely fed up with you, he is going to just hit you with his whip first. That's a nat 20.
You're now without on my range. I can't do the grave. The circle of mortality.
So, really quick.
I'll use my reaction to give myself resistance to this because I don't normally.
Okay. So that's 22 thunder damage and 17 lightning damage from the crit. And then another...
So 39 halved, or well, 22 is 11, 17 is 8, so 19.
Sounds good. And then another strength save.
Yep. Find another D4. I know where that one went, luckily. For a... Yeah, and... It's much better. 18 plus 9 is 27.
All right. So as he sits there and again wraps around your neck and starts to pull you forward, you bring up your arm, and as he pulls, you just and you slowly unwrap it from your neck and then let it go back to him. And he gets pissed. He is going to simply jump down. Takes a single point of damage from jumping down. He comes around with a claw to hit you.
Yep.
34.
34 will hit.
17 points of force damage. And then he comes down to just take a big bite out of your neck.
All right.
And that's 29 to hit.
Yep.
26 points of fire damage as he just bites in. You can feel the heat from his core just coursing all over you. And he kind of reaches back and he goes, "Rah!" And you see these huge wings kind of pop out of his back. And then that ends his turn. Relwyn, what would you like to do?
Okay.
I am bloody but not down.
Okay. Okay.
Healing is a whole new game with these new spells.
Well, you say that. I still have to, still have to use them.
Still nice.
Here's what I'll do. I'll go here, and who's after me?
Vincent is actually.
It could be interesting. Well, whoever it does. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bonus action to do Healing Word on Argenta. And yeah, I will do a 6th level Healing Word. Let's roll on that.
So you guys watch as Relwyn moves forward. He reaches out his hand and you see this deep indigo glow start to form. And as he speaks these words of encouragement, Argenta, you feel some of your wounds starting to knit together.
That's 34.
Quite a few of your wounds start to knit together.
6th level. And then for my action, I'll put it in chat. I will invoke Channel Divinity, Path to the Grave. The next attack that hits will be vulnerable damage. All damage in that one attack will be vulnerable.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. How do you visualize this happening? What do you see Relwyn doing to do this?
An outline behind him of a cloaked figure, just slightly translucent, but it's almost like a shadow, but it's still formed behind him. As you hear like his voice and another unidentified voice behind him is just like murmuring sermons of time to be laid to rest.
So you guys,
his eyes are inky black, rising up. Indigo.
So you guys see Relwyn kind of stare at this demon. And at first, Relwyn is just speaking basically the Dark Lady equivalent of In Nomine Patri Deo. And he starts speaking this kind of blessing over a dead body, which you guys have seen him do funeral rites before. So he starts performing funeral rites against this demon. And the demon sits there and gloats. He's like, she has no power here. You are wasting your time. And as he keeps speaking, you guys suddenly notice he starts to get darker. You see this kind of blue, deep indigo outline start surrounding him. You see his eyes start to glow, and this indigo smoke starts to raise from him. And you don't know when she appeared, but you suddenly realize that there's another figure standing next to Relwyn. It's
kind of like behind him as he's like,
this kind of feminine figure, completely enshrouded in cloaks and this deep indigo shadow, and she slowly puts her hand on his shoulder from behind, and she raises her hand, and you start hearing the sermon and the death rites that he's speaking suddenly double and start to gain reverberation, and you could hear it echoing off of everything and nothing at the same time. And Vincent turns and he reaches into his coat and he pulls out a firearm. Blazoned on the side of it is the word thunder. And he steadies his aim. And Argenta, even having never seen this weapon, you recognize the sister of the gun that you are holding in your hand. And he aims it.
and blessed.
And blessed. He rolls a 19 on the die.
Thoughts and prayers on your firearm. Don't get more American than that.
So Vincent pulls out thunder, aims it, goes, You need to leave. The bolt flies through the air. What does Fury do, damage-wise?
The D10.
D10, cool.
I think it's nasty about vulnerability is just the sum total gets doubled, right?
Yeah. So he moves forward and you watch as the arm that was holding the whip blown off. You have lied to me. Another fire. Another arm blown off. You have lied to my sister. And he's walking forward as he takes each of these things. Shoots him in the hip. This massive hole appears and he's brought down to his knees. And suddenly he's right next to him. And you see that you hear the barrel move into place. You hear this. You don't control me anymore. Point blank, the head explodes. The body itself lands on the ground, and you watch it just kind of disappear into nothingness. The arms that have been blown off just vanish. Vincent stands there looking at the weapon, holsters it, takes the rapier that was in his other hand, sheathes it, and reaches his hand down to Argenta to kind of help her kind of steady herself. Thank you. And then he looks towards Vivavala. Those things that you said, you couldn't have known. You never knew my father.
No, but I've seen good fathers and poor fathers.
I've done horrible things. I've killed innocents, children. I don't deserve to leave here.
I served as the High Inquisitor, serving for the Dark Lord. I know a taste of what you've been through. The thing that keeps me going is making sure the Dark Lord will pay for his crimes. That is the only purpose I have left.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Go ahead, roll one with your bless.
So I will use that bless. And I will also mention to him that not only does he have that, you also have your sister to look after. 28.
On my screen, it said perception, not persuasion.
Oh! Shoot. Well, so it would be 2 less, unless you would like me to re-roll.
That's fine. 2 less is still much more than you need.
Yeah, 26.
You watch him sit there and like his shoulders just slump, and you see him start heaving, and his head is down so that you can't see his face, but you can see tears just dropping on the floor. He drops to his knees. And for about a minute, he just kind of lays there in a pile weeping to himself. And suddenly, you see him get really still, and he gets up. You're right. She's still out there, and she needs my help. He goes over to Argenta, and he pulls Thunder out. He flips it around. If Booker trusted you with that, then I trust you with this.
She'll take it and be like, if you're sure.
I never had much use for it, to be honest. Booker was the one who wanted to be the musketeer. And he pulls out the rapier. This is more my style. And you see him kind of step into the center of this hellscape. He looks around. I've been here so long. It almost feels like home. He takes the rapier and just slashes the air, and you see this tear form. And this incredibly bright light starts to envelop everything. And suddenly, you are in a bedchamber. Kind of looking around. Well, 3 of you are in a bedchamber. You guys kind of look around the chamber itself. Looks like at one point it was very extravagant, very lovely, but the chamber is in disrepair, and you can see a bed that is not much more than a wooden box with bedposts. The wood itself is untreated, and you can see the nearly naked body of Vincent chained to the bed. and you see him kind of wake up, and he looks at the chains, and he just kind of looks at everyone but Vala, and just kind of goes, little help.
Sorry, which of us are there with him?
Everybody but Vala, because Vala's body is still in the room where you guys did the dream spell from. But you guys physically transported to that dream, so when it ended,
Okay.
you guys are there. But Vala's still... Vala, you just wake up and none of your friends are there.
I
Oh, son
have
of a
a
bitch, not again.
You immediately whip out a mirror to see if we can draw on your face.
I have to go so I can help us.
Yeah, there's a key. If you guys take like a
Oh.
couple minutes to look, you guys can find a key kind of sequestered on the opposite side of the room, and so you can kind of unlock the shackles. He gets up. You can see he's got like splinters and things from the untreated wood, and he slowly starts kind of pulling out. One of them's like this really big, long, kind of shard of wood. He starts pulling them out. That was unpleasant. And he goes over to a wardrobe, puts on clothing. It looks a little bit more familiar. While this is going on, Vala, you're alone. What do you want to do? Because this will take better part of about like 5-10 minutes.
Hang on. Oh, I don't have invisibility as a spell. I was going to pretend to be an unseen servant. I will just like get up, start collecting all of my things together, and then I'm going to head for the library section.
Okay. You do know where his bedroom is, by the way.
Yes, but I don't
Okay.
know that I would know that they were
Okay.
transported to the bedroom.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna start going towards like that area.
All right. So, like I said, after about 5 to 10 minutes, he's fully dressed again. He straps the rapier to his side. You guys look out the window and you can see just the briefest pre-dawn glow along the horizon, realizing that the time that you're in that dream world seems to have time passed apparently quicker outside the dream than it did inside the dream. So it's almost dawn.
I really hope you have command of the animated armor, not your sister.
Technically, none of us command it. It's it protects the house. If you are viewed as an intruder of the house, they will attack you. If you are a guest of the master of the house, of which I am, he will leave you alone. So, you should be safe.
Side question: with my passive perception and the dream lord dropped, did we hear like a ton of just armors clattering to the ground, or I'm curious if disenchantments might have sparked or happened.
Oh no, the armors themselves are still going. Vincent basically explains they're tied to the house itself. They're part of the enchantment of the mansion, and so whomever the master of the house is basically given a free pass from them. But their entire purpose is to protect the physical mansion.
We need to get to Vala. Also, you have children servants running around here, and you have an undead chef. Are they going to be a problem?
The children just need to be let go. The chef... Well, you all took out a demon. I don't think taking out the chef will be that much more difficult, though.
Well, we also have kind of a strange situation with some undead actually not being a problem. I thought I'd ask if they need to be dealt with or not.
He looked at you. I take you're our cleric. Do you have the ability to turn undead? Well, then that would probably be enough to get rid of him. He's not particularly powerful. just annoying. The real danger is my sister. She,
Well, with him being destroyed, is she still a problem?
yes, because he was not the one that corrupted her. The Dark Lord came personally for her. Cast a spell that I've never seen. Part of the spell is the only creature that she views as human is me. All the rest of you are playthings. Now, I don't know, with me no longer being under that creature's control, I don't know what effect that's going to have on the spell. But I might be able to get close enough to at least get that wand away from her. Oh, wait. And he extends his hand. Shoo! And the wand appears in it.
Technically speaking, she should still be asleep.
Yes. Not for much longer. She's a early riser. Likes to get her torture in before she has breakfast.
How did you get the wand?
Instead of bonding myself with my sword, like most Eldritch Knights do, I bonded with this. It's a weapon of a sort. Figured, well, the demon that controlled me, figured if she was ever disarmed, I could give it back to her. And I cannot be disarmed of it. However, she knows how important this is. I can't get close to her carrying it. Also, he looks around and kind of counts. Weren't there 4 of you?
That's what I was
Huh.
saying. We need to get to Vala.
Yes, she should be looking for us.
Lovely. Well, if she's not with me and one of the armors finds her, they're going to attack.
Dormer's gonna attack her?
Yes, because she's not my guest.
This is another case of Vala is alone. We need to find her soon.
Is this a common occurrence of your friend?
Every time she gets separated from the group, something happens.
I've seen these harnesses you can buy for young children. Basically,
That
giving
has a
you
different
the-
context when it's an adult.
Well,
I'm new to the group. I'm not there yet for that dynamic.
where should we go?
Well, actually, Vala should be relatively safe if she knows the way here. Uh, we know about the servants' quarters, about the servants' access.
Okay, and
She may already be on the way here to us.
all right. Well, one of you needs to do something with this. Is one of you particularly fast? Can get this far, very, very far away?
Who has a bag of holding?
I do.
That would work as well.
It's a different plane of existence of a sort. I'll open the bag of holding.
Okay, so he places it in there. All right, then let's go find your friend.
I would think after about 15 minutes or so, by the time I get to the library and I'm not seeing any action, I will use a 3rd level spell and cast Sending
Mm-hmm.
to reach out to Argenta and be like, "So I'm hoping you guys are here. I'm in the library area. Where are you guys?
There's also this dude in like a purple suit, and there's a candlestick. Like, I'm starting to get worried here.
Do I get the message?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send back. We're in Vincent's room. If you stay there, we'll head over.
Okay. I will stay in the servants' court, in the servants' passageway outside the library. Wait till I see you guys.
Okay.
Alright. I'll tell Vincent. Oh, she's in the that entrance to the library that the servants use. That's where she's waiting.
Great. That's it's actually a nice staging point. Our rooms are basically on opposite sides of the manor, and the library's dead center. So let's go. And he goes and opens the door, and you see two sets of armor kind of glaring, and they start to draw their weapons, and he just holds his hand up and says, "They're with me." And they go back to their kind of guarding stance. "Come on." And he walks out.
I'll follow.
Okay. So you guys get to the library in a couple of minutes.
I think Rowan actually would ask, like, does that undead chef, does he attack the children at all, or will he just cooks refuse?
He's just there to torture us.
Okay, well, we can deal with him later then.
Every night after I would be chained, the demon would give me control back of my body while I drifted off into sleep. And the spells used to make that palatable would be removed. And I would end up dealing with that every night. It's one of the reasons there's no longer covers on the bed. Just too much of a pain to clean them every day.
Makes sense.
Rowan gives him a ginger chew.
All right, so I'm assuming you all have some sort of plan to deal with her?
Well, originally the idea was to turn her into Pinata. I think we're going to try and do something different now.
I would prefer my sister living through this if possible.
Now that we understand what was happening, I'm glad we can try to actually save you both.
You would have been justified in any actions that you took.
Justified, yes, but it still would have been better to help where we can. In any way we can.
Enough with ifs, ands, and buts. We need to come up with a plan.
Let's get them all first, and we'll plan. Then we'll plan.
So Vala, they're in the library at this point.
Okay. I was just looking through the dream spell. It doesn't say. Because I didn't physically enter the dream world.
Mm-hmm.
I was my body was left outside in
You
the
still
trance.
took the hit point damage.
But I
The rest of
don't
us
get the
did.
benefit of the long rest.
No.
Okay.
Good try. No.
I have to ask these questions.
Yeah.
So I will come out very quietly. Hey guys. So what's the plan?
Long story short, Elizabeth is under the Dark Lord's ensorcelment. And we have to try to find a way to break her out. The armors, now that you're with us, Vincent can hopefully keep them at bay. We can deal with the chef later. We simply now need to think of a plan on how to deal with her.
First things first, we need to get that wand away from her.
We already have that.
In the bag.
Oh,
Literally.
that. Okay, this is going swimmingly. does her magical powers rely on the wand, or does she have?
The wand amplifies her power a considerable amount, and
Presume that.
a lot of the spells that she uses require a focus. Without it, she is extremely limited in her ability to cast spells. She is
Right.
not defenseless in any way, shape, or form. One of her more unique abilities. She can pick up almost any object and turn it into a spellcasting focus within a moment.
Hmm.
It takes concentration and work, but it would expand her repertoire. She still would not be quite as powerful without the wand, but definitely still dangerous.
So we try to grab and restrain her. Don't let her pick anything up. And then
Gagger.
gagging, possibly, yes.
Do any of
Is
you
she a
have-
caster? Is she a wizard or a sorcerer? Does she have... I'm concerned about her abilities on how to cast.
Technically, yes.
I don't feel that's too big of a stretch because Rowan has seen people do some
Yeah.
weird wonky things on casting.
Yeah. Yes. She never really studied. Well, before we were here, she was studying to follow in my mother's footsteps. But since she got here, her spellcasting feels more intrinsic. I don't know if it's because of the spell or what, but she kind of flirts with the line between a studied spellcaster and an innate spellcaster.
I have an idea. Your that carriage that you have.
Yes.
Are you familiar with how that works?
Yes. There's a time manipulation spell built into it. When it's closed and activated, time passes so quickly inside that it seems to almost stand still outside of it.
Could it be reversed?
How so? Make time pass
Much
slower
more
inside?
slowly inside.
It's beyond my ability. It was a gift from the Dark Lord. The magic used to create it and empower it is beyond even my sister's advanced abilities. You would need to speak to a very powerful artificer.
Okay. Just I was thinking out loud.
We may have to do a borderline exorcism if he is entrenched in her in any way, shape, or form, like our friend was Vincent.
As you all are standing there, you suddenly see a plate slowly kind of floating in with some bread and butter on it. And Vincent kind of looks at it, kind of leans down and smells it. This is... I'm sorry. He puts it over to Rowan. Can you smell this for me? Does this look like freshly baked bread to you?
Yeah, I would imagine it might, because he saw the enchantment that the chef was capable of
Mm-hmm.
in making it look appealing.
Yeah, so roll a perception check. Illusions and things like that basically become translucent if you see through them.
Advantage. 14.
14. Yeah, looking at it, as far as you can tell, like, it looks like freshly baked and sliced bread.
It looks like it, but that was kind of the point for the chef did it.
So he goes and as he bites into it, I mean, it tastes real.
We saw that kitchen. There was nothing usable in there.
Huh. And he puts the bread down. He goes over to the desk, and you see him kind of searching for something, and he finds this tiny little, like, bellhop bell. This goes ting ting, and you watch as the unseen servant slowly starts to become visible, and standing before you is a thing.
As in the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you have a tongue?
Yes. In where was it?
Does she have it? Oh.
In the kitchen, there at the very back of the pantry is a box with 3 tongues. Perhaps we should give my chef a visit.
And then, so we deal with your chef, get the tongues, and then we deal with your sister.
Yes, I mean, it seems that we can use all the help that we can get, and I seem to remember the Dark Lord saying something about ensuring that they never got those items back.
They are powerful allies.
He truly seems to have a grudge against them.
Apparently.
There's a reason for that.
All right, let's go take out the chef.
To the kitchen.
Maybe see why that seems a little more convincing an illusion than usual.
So yeah, I think
Could that be a sign because you're in control of your faculties now? He poses that question to Vincent.
Sorry. Ask the question again. I'm very sorry.
Oh, could it be because he posed the question because of the bread and being more convinced? Could it be because you're more control of your faculties now?
I don't know. I mean this seems like freshly baked bread. Like when I was eating the other things, like they may have tasted different, but
We saw her choke down a slice of cake.
yeah, there's a difference between taste and texture. Like we could feel that it was not, and this feels. Well, here, who wants to experiment?
I will.
I was
Vala,
like, Relwyn, like being the chef, like you're not here.
Vala takes the wand of magic detection and
Yeah, there's no
Waits
magic.
it.
There's
Yeah,
no magic
just-
spell on this.
it's bread. Just
The-
bread.
The servants do have their own kitchen. Perhaps this one actually baked bread. I mean, let's be honest, baking bread is not rocket science.
Well, you have to
Flour,
get past
water,
the first
yeast.
starter.
Don't even get him.
I'm just saying, once you get past the first starter, then it gets easier.
Bread, flour, yeast, water. It's bread. I used to make it with my mother when I was a child.
yeah, 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 but you know, yeah.
I don't think so. My sister was not particularly fond of these. It's the reason they had the invisibility spell cast on them. She didn't like even seeing them. The servants' passages were created after my sister and I got here. Um, she had rather strong feelings about the idea of servants not being seen. Or rather, the passages were expanded when we got here. There were a few that existed before, but
Well,
nevertheless, I still think our best bet is to get the items
Kitchen
back.
seems to be many answers.
yep. Let's move out.
All right. So you guys head to the kitchen. You can hear like pots and pans clanging and the things like that. You can see the kind of undead chef, his kind of bulbous form moving around. You can see like trails of refuse kind of dripping off of him as he's doing things. You can smell the kind of overwhelming stench of rotting flesh. But he seems completely oblivious that you guys are coming through, just due to how much noise and everything that he's making.
I think Rowan's going to look at him and examine him. Does he seem in his faculties, or is he...
He seems... He's obviously an animated corpse. He seems... He's very zombie-like, but he has...
He was casting spells and...
Yeah, like he's significantly... Like he's not a lich or anything like that. I guess the closest you might be able to compare him to is possibly like a revenant. Or a wight, maybe. Wights, generally, like when a wight is created, they're meant to be kind of shock troops. But kind of a modification of it might create something akin to this.
Could I do anything with my knowledge of that?
Sure, go ahead and make me a history check, I think.
But, well, what do you want?
Now, see, Vala, if you want to make a history check too, you wouldn't get the advantage that Liliane does, but this is dealing with vampiric history that you might have found out about when you were young.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so between the two of you, there was a practice that basically fell out of fashion a couple hundred years ago amongst the very elite of the vampire houses, where instead of using other vampires as servants or using humans or other mortal races as servants, they would find someone with a particular set of skills that they needed, and they would effectively ritually kill them and then rise them into undeath as a form of a revenant style. But this particular one, because they were not given like a person that they have to hunt down or anything like that, they were able to modify the magic enough to basically make them an eternal servant that had one particular job. And so sometimes these revenant servants, and because of that, they wouldn't be limited by the 1 year limitation that most revenants have. And so you would have, like, you might have one if the family had horses that they were very, very fond of or something. You might have your revenant horse carrier where literally their entire life is just, I take care of the horses. They don't sleep, they don't eat, they don't do anything. That is the entirety of their focus. And so the reason it kind of went out of fashion was, one, it's a pain in the ass to do. And two, when the regular population became aware of any one of these things, it caused massive issues. It wasn't that, like, the vampires are strong enough that if they needed to just basically enslave all of Sanguinius, they could. They're extremely powerful. But it's just a shit ton of work. So having a willing populace is significantly more useful to you than having an enslaved populace. So, yeah, between the two of you and Liliane, you would have heard about this, because it was one of the things that blood hunters, when you were trying to hurt very high-ranking vampire families, you couldn't actually go in and assassinate them or anything. You would, not only would you die, your entire clan would die. But if you wanted to hurt them, taking out these servants was a really great way to massively piss them off. Because again, there was a lot of resources that went into them. So, yeah. But again, it has been done for hundreds of years because of issues like that. So, but you think that's probably what this guy was? Probably some kind of magic adjacent chef that was ritually killed to turn into this undead chef.
It would make sense that the Dark Lord would do something like this because, he's a little behind the times. All right, well, I think we should set his spirit free.
And just for sake, will he be blown up? I just go up to him and turn undead. Will he?
What level can you destroy undead with turn undead?
Turn undead. Feature on that. Let's go.
So I think it's a percentage of your level.
Yes.
It's up to a certain CR, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a CR. I have to find. There's literally a table, but I have to. God forbid they make it easy for me to find it. Circle 10 spells. Ah, there we go. Destroy undead. I am level 17. Destroy an undead of CR 4 or lower.
Yeah, this is lower than 4, so as long as, I think it's just, it has to still fail its save, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if that's what you want to do, what's the save again?
It says it's a wisdom saving throw. I'm presuming it's per my spell save.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a wisdom. The save would be DC 20.
Yeah, he didn't make it. So if you come through, you see as you start kind of chanting to turn the undead, kind of looks towards you and he goes, "Ugh," and he starts picking up just refuse to throw at you. And
I
as
think
you
he walks up and just goes, "No!"
and then and suddenly there is a pile of ash where he used to be.
You put too much salt in the bread anyway.
So Vincent instantly goes to the pantry, and as he opens it up, whoo! And he kind of has to hold himself for just a second. I don't suppose you have a way to get rid of that smell, do you?
Vala will attempt prestidigitation.
The entire kitchen stinks.
Yeah, you'd have to spend like 20 minutes prestidigitizing everything, and he goes, fine. And he just kind of rips a little corner off of his tunic and puts it in front of his mouth. He goes in and he brings out this box. And instead of setting it on the table or anything, he just leaves out to the door. Goes into the
Yeah.
hallway and finds like a side table out there. What did you say, Argenta?
Nothing.
Oh. So he goes out and he opens it up, and you can see... I have to look real quick to see how many still exist.
You said 3.
3, 4... Yeah, I'm seeing how many are left total.
Oh.
I wanna say this, but I could be off.
I think it's a grand total of 5. Okay. All right, so I had to get the names right and everything. So put you there. So you have one of these creatures has kind of just followed you this entire time, and so you open the box, and you can see these 3 tongues. He just kind of looks at you guys. I was never told how this works. I was just told keep it away from them.
You just put the tongue back where it used to be on their mouth and it'll reattach. They're vampires after all.
Lovely. And so he picks up one of them, and it kind of flops in his hand. And he just looks at you guys as like, you all realize, like, this is disgusting, right?
Oh, we've
Oh,
handled them before.
All right. And so he brings it forward, and he kind of puts it in, and it kind of slithers into the creature's mouth, and it goes from its extremely emaciated form. You start watching as flesh starts to knit itself. Fat deposits start to kind of come back. And standing before you, looking for something to cover himself with, because he's basically just in like a cloth diaper, is Lord Etienne Nicolet. He looks around and goes, "Where are we? I do not recognize this place."
A realm of the Dark Lord's making. You'll get used to it shortly.
The Dark Lord. Merde! There are more of my kind here.
We've
Correct?
been freeing them.
Yeah. He's been torturing all of you.
If I remember correctly, Lady Calinthia is here. She is a sorcerer of immense power. My specialization is transmutation. If you would like me to turn this bookcase into a chair, I would be more than happy to do that for you. But I think Lady Fleur would be significantly more useful in this situation.
Well, that is certainly a bonus.
You said there was.
you have to know where the others are?
I can remember bits and pieces from my time here. We were specifically not allowed out of the servants' passages unless there was no one in the room. This time of day, we should be about ready to go to the kitchen to serve the morning meal. In 20 or so minutes, if I'm guessing correctly.
So if we wait here, she will show up.
I would.
Vincent, is there any way to summon the other servants?
Yeah, the bell. It can remove the invisibility. It also calls them. I don't suppose any of you thought to bring it with you, did you?
I did not.
Lovely.
No.
Well, let's head back to the library. It's a more defensible spot, anyways.
So how many tongues were in the box?
There's a total of 3.
That was 3. Okay,
Yeah.
so Entienne, Lady Corinthia, and who else?
He hasn't told you yet who the last.
Oh, he has not
person
told us.
is.
Okay.
All right.
So you all head back to the library. You ring the bell, and 2 more of these things appear. One extremely emaciated woman. The other one, even more so emaciated. A man, like this one looks significantly older. And as the tongues are returned, again, they both kind of hide themselves as they become a little bit more pleasant to look at. Lord Nicolay brought clothing for them, so he'd have something. And Lady Fleur Corinthia turns and goes, what is going on here? Etienne, where are we? Who are these peasants? And then she looks at Lillian specifically, and you see her. She kind of looks at you and she sniffs for a second. Then she kind of bares her fangs. This one is an hunter.
We're not enemies here. The Dark Lord has made this realm. That's why you're so confused.
The Dark Lord. And just goes off in this ancient vampiric. I think Vala, do you? I can't remember.
It's Argenta speaks vampire.
Yeah, all of them 4-letter words. Yeah, you guys even Argenta, even you and Lillian are both going, wow, that's a new one. I was not aware that was. I didn't know you could put those words together. That is horrible. And then the last person, as much as you can see again, all of them look these severely emaciated bodies, and then once they get that back, they look much closer to the vampires that you're used to. This one in particular, though, even being a vampire, looks very old for a vampire. Like he's got a little of a hunch to his step, and he goes, I cannot believe we are all here, and do not have any of my books.
Are they in the library?
And I guess Vala, you might recognize Gabriel Mercour, whose house specializes in Scrivener magic, which is basically note-taking and writing magic.
I am expert in journaling.
Oh, excellent. If he'd be useful in trying to change out the time thing. But,
I could write a book about it if you would like.
it'd probably take too long.
You stop talking, Etienne. What are we to do? These peasants. Can we trust them?
Let me tell you the situation. The Dark Lord, after that whole, let's call it trial, the sham trial, he trapped us all into this realm. We've been here, well, it varies, but for most of us, around a year. And we've been freeing you one by one and weakening his power one by one. Now, the issue we have currently is he has two, or had two, anchors of power in this location. Currently, he has one. And the way to remove that power is there is a spell on a young, let's just call her a mage. The spell causes her to see everyone but herself and her brother here, and she'll gesture to Vincent uh, as playthings. We need to remove this spell.
You can see Lady Fleur, as you describe the spell, you watch her just sit down. Sutalo.
Apparently, the individual that many people like myself were born into this world were led to believe he was nigh unto a god who has been apparently tainting the worship of the Dark Lady, corrupting it,
He has
and
always
has been used.
he has always considered himself a deity.
Well, he has also been, whatever he may have been in your world, he has become a very powerful spellcaster, or he utilizes very powerful spellcasters.
He and you see her just kind of shake her head, and you see her like this kind of almost nostalgic smile appears on her. When I was young, I thought he loved me. It broke my heart. But he had become something that we could not allow. She takes a deep breath. A spell that you are describing is mine. I created it centuries ago when I was a young woman, before even taking the lead of House Carinthia. We were lovers for a time, and he convinced me that the way that he saw the world was the correct way, and if we could just get people to see it the same way that he did, then their world would be a better place. We would rule, we would impose peace. I did not realize what I was doing. The way to break this spell, there is only one way. You must find a way to convince a person that someone that they view as worthless, as value, someone that they view as a plaything, deserves better. And if you cannot do that, there's nothing. I am sorry. I destroyed
No.
everything about that spell centuries ago. I do not know how he was able to resurrect it.
So, Vincent, we just need you to convince your sister that one of us is worthy.
Lovely. You, and he turns towards Argenta. You carry my brother's gun. He gave that to you on purpose, right? You may be muted if you're speaking, Argenta.
He. She looks at Fury. Your brother trusted us more than I think he trusted a lot of people. I took this upon myself when are you aware of what the Dark Lord did to him?
He's here?
In a fashion. From what I know, his body and soul have been separated. He wasn't killed more than they performed some ancient spell on him, and his body is in a suspended state of rest, and I took these weapons up so that he's still with us.
You should also be aware those that die in this realm, their souls cannot move on. They're denied.
That certainly makes things more difficult. I don't know anyone she would care about enough other than my brother to see. And as his eyes kind of glaze over as loses himself in thought. Unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it tonight because it is very, very late. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TrainerJody. If you're watching us on YouTube, please join us live Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/TrainerJody.
Channel points help us.
Yeah, you can actually interact with the game using your channel points. But anyway, it's going to be all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.